Most people don't actually have a money problem. They have a money system problem. Your income can change, your job can change, your bank can change. But if the underlying system stays the same, your outcome barely moves. In this video, I want to show you one specific system the wealthy use that most people never notice. Not a trick, not a hack, a piece of financial architecture that runs quietly in the background and builds wealth over time. I call it the invisible cash flows loop. And once you see it, you won't be able to unsee how your own money is wired. This is financial mechanics. Here, we don't do tips, we do systems. Stay with me for a few minutes and you'll understand why two people with the same income can end up in completely different financial worlds. Think about how most people's money actually moves. You get paid, the money lands in your main account. From there, it flows straight into taxes, rent or mortgage, utilities, groceries, fuel, childcare, subscriptions, eating out, and all the small everyday extras. If anything is left at the end of the month, maybe it goes into savings. Often, there's nothing left. Mechanically, this is a straight line. Income flows to expenses, then resets, and the cycle repeats. I call this a linear income system. There's no feedback loop. Money comes in, money goes out, and every month starts from zero again. You can earn $40,000 a year or $140,000 a year and still be trapped inside this exact same structure. The numbers change, the mechanics don't. Now contrast that with a different design. Many wealthy people run a system that looks less like a straight line and more like a loop. Income flows in, a portion is intercepted, it's sent into an engine, that engine produces returns, and those returns are fed back into the engine. Same tools, same banks, same world, just a different order of operations. Before we go further, pause for a second. If you had to guess, are you living in the line or in the loop? Let me know in the comments. Just type line or loop. Here's how the loop works. Money comes in from one or more sources: a salary, a business, rental income, dividends, side projects. For most people, 100% of that income drops into a single lifestyle bucket. Every bill, every swipe, every expense pulls from the same place. In the invisible cash flow loop, before that money becomes spendable, a percentage is intercepted. Not after the bills, not after you see what's left, but before it ever shows up as lifestyle money. That interception might be 5, 10, or 20%. The exact number is flexible. What matters is the rule. Interception happens first, and it happens automatically. Most people run the system in reverse. They get paid, live life, then try to save whatever remains. The cash flow loop flips that logic. You get paid, you fund the system, and then you live on what's left. Quick pause. Think about your last paycheck. What was the very first thing that happened to that money? That answer reveals your real system, not your intentions. So where do the intercepted money go? It doesn't sit idle in a low-yield savings account. It's directed into what I'll call the engine. Assets designed to grow or produce cash flow. That could be low-cost index funds, rental property, a business you reinvest in, or a diversified portfolio that pays dividends or interest. The goal isn't finding a perfect investment. The goal is having a dedicated engine whose job is simple. $1 goes in, and over time, more than $1 comes out. For example, if you invest $5,000 a year into a diversified index fund, earning long-term average returns, that extra growth is the engine working while you're not. If you want a dedicated breakdown comparing different types of engines, stocks, real estate, businesses, type engine breakdown in the comments so I know to make that video next. Now, here's where this stops being a one-time decision and becomes a real system. The returns from the engine aren't treated as spending money. They're routed back into the engine. So the pattern becomes simple. Year 1, you invest. Year 2, your original money and last year's returns are both working. Year 3, your money plus year 1 returns plus year 2 returns are all working together. The system feeds itself. That's compounding. Not as a quote, but as a cash flow loop. Income flows in, gets intercepted, enters the engine, produces returns, and those returns go straight back into the engine. Over months, this looks boring. Over decades, it quietly rewires who has to keep working for money and who doesn't. This is also where many people step off the wealth escalator.
They withdraw returns and spend them instead of letting the loop run. Let's put numbers to this. Two people earn $50,000 a year. Person A runs the linear system. All income flows into spending, no consistent investing. Person B intercepts 10%, $5,000 a year, invests it, and leaves it alone while continuing to add each year. Using modest long-term averages, the difference becomes clear. After 5 years, Person A has nothing invested. Person B has roughly $27,000 working. After 10 years, Person A still has nothing. Person B has around $60,000. After 20 years, Person A is still at zero. Person B is approaching $500,000 or more. Same income, same economy. The difference isn't effort or intelligence, it's system design. So why isn't this the default? Because the economy functions smoothly when banks earn interest on debt, credit cards profit from spending, and businesses rely on consumption. No one is incentivized to design a system that reduces your dependence on constant work and constant spending. You're given tools, but not the blueprint for how to connect them. That blueprint is the cash flow loop. Let's turn this into action. First, map your current flow. For the next 30 days, track where every dollar goes, not to judge it, but to see it clearly. Second, choose an interception rate. Pick something small and sustainable. 5 to 10% is a solid starting point for many people. Third, select a simple engine and automate it. Set the transfer to happen on payday so the money never becomes spendable in the first place. At that point, the loop is live. Income flows in, money is intercepted, the engine works, returns are reinvested. Your money already follows a system. The real question is who that system is designed to benefit. You don't need a new job to change your financial trajectory. You need a new architecture for how money moves through your life. If you want more videos that break down the hidden mechanics underneath everyday money decisions, subscribe to Financial Mechanics. And in the comments, tell me which part of your money flow feels most out of control right now: income, spending, or investing. Your answer will help decide what system we break down next.